Ooh. Let's go, baby. Let's go. This was a monumental game. Monumental game. And let me just start off top. Yes! I'm glad we gave it to the Chiefs. I'm glad it was them that we demoralized. When I say demoralized, I mean like we robbed them of having the winning the division, So getting home field advantage for the playoffs. Like felt good about that. And one of the reasons I feel like this is a statement game, and unlike years prior, because mind you, I was a big fan of Rich Bisaccia, especially after the whole John Gruden fiasco and the tragic DUI that led to a person getting killed with Henry Ruggs. I give him full credit because he went 7-5. He went to the playoffs the first time since 2016 when Derek Carr broke his leg. But the reason why I say this year is different from that year is because the offense I felt was really good, like really, really good, and our defense wasn't there. I felt like the defense, we couldn't get turnovers a lot that year, and I felt like as a team, the offense really had to carry it. And when the offense had an off day, the defense wasn't really there for us to like really close out games or even hold on to leads. This year has been very different. The defense has been very good, even when Josh McDaniels was there. So I gotta give Patrick Graham credit. But the reason why I say it's really different this year is because Coach Pierce has allowed this team to evolve after every win and after every loss. Because mind you, just a couple of weeks ago, we lost to the Chiefs 31-17, and we were up in that game in the first half, 14-0. They came back at the end of the half, and then after that, after halftime, second half, we couldn't make any adjustments, and we just lost the game. We lost full control of the game. But then I feel like the mark of a great coach and a great team is how do you come back and how do you learn from your mistakes and how do you keep the momentum going. So with this is a game we had to win for our playoff hopes alive, so we still have a chance to go to the playoffs. But more importantly, the Chiefs had a lot to gain and a lot to lose from that Christmas Day game. So I feel Coach Pierce, Coach Graham, and the offensive coordinator Bo, I think they all deserve full marks because even though the offense struggled, specifically at the quarterback position with Aiden O'Connell, we still made the right plays based on how the game was going to not lose the game and keep the game, in our favor because we were winning the game we were winning the game for most of the time. So I think it's one of those things where it's like, okay, can you let the moment become too big for you? Or can you just say, hey, we have the game plan, it's working, and let's just stomp them out and keep the gas on the pedal. And I think we did that in our own way, especially on the offensive side of the ball. Even though we didn't have a lot of passing plays, the run game was there for us consistently. There were a lot of times where we just got 5 yards here, 4 yards there. And then at the end of the game, those paid dividends because we were able to wear off the Chiefs' defense at the end of the game. That's where Zamir White was able to close out the game on, I think that was a 40-yard run at the fourth quarter, at the end of the game. So I got to give credit to the offensive line, and give credit to Aiden O'Connell for managing the game. And that's what you have to do. Manage the game because not every time you're going to just light it up. So I don't know why a game manager designation or denotation is a bad thing, and I'll make a video about that. But the difference between a game changer and a game manager. But let's leave that away from. That's neither here nor there right now. Aiden O'Connell played within himself and said, "Hey, I'll hand this bad boy off. I won't try to do too much. I'll try to make the safe throw. I won't try to get a pick." He did that the whole game. So I got to give credit for that. I got to give credit to the special teams. Didn't do anything to blow the game. Didn't do anything um, like super egregious. Like everything was like really kind of tight for me as when I was watching the game. Also, I gotta give full marks to the defense because my God in heaven, Coombs, Max Crosby, Trayvon Murray, uh, uh, Jack Jones, especially Jack Jones. Let me start with him because since he's come over from the Patriots, since they released him and we picked him up, he's actually paid immediate dividends because this is the second week in a row this dude has gotten a pick six. The first one was last week against the Chargers where it was a one-handed. He read the lateral pass and I was like, oh, it was one-handed and he took it to the end zone. Next week, this dude just comes in, reads the pass, and and takes it to the house while looking at your boy Patrick Mahomes. That's what I like to see in a DB. That's what I like to see. So I gotta give him full marks. The DBs did well. The linebackers did well. Like all three phases of the defense, I felt did well against the Chiefs because Kelsey didn't demoralize us how he always does, where the receiver in the first half where he's getting 100 yards and then in the second half he's getting 3 or 4 touchdowns. He didn't have that kind of a game, even though he did have spurts where he did give us the business, and Patrick Mahomes did give us the business. But guess what? You know, you're not gonna shut those players down completely, but we were able to hold them enough to where we could get a lead and actually win. And that's why I gotta give credit to this team, and I gotta give credit to Antonio Pierce and the coaching staff because it would have been easy, and it has happened years and years and years prior to now, where we had the Chiefs on the ropes. We have them on the ropes. We're winning 14-0. We're winning. We have a 14 deficit in our favor, and somehow good old Patrick Mahomes makes a play, and then all of a sudden the momentum just completely shifts from us to them, and we lose in the second half. It's always happened that way over the last 4 years, but not this year. This year we found a way to win in the most important game. I mean, it happened in the 31-17 game, but this game we actually learned from our mistakes prior, and I think that's why Coach Pierce deserves a chance at full-time. Actually, no, not a chance. He deserves to be the full-term coach going into next year because this team was in disarray, like complete disarray under Josh McDaniels. We were uninspired. We had no heart. We didn't play from quarter 1 to quarter 4. But now, since Coach Pierce took over and gave us that Pierce power, it's been a whole new team. Even Devontae Adams, when he's not doing dirt on the field, he's still happy because we're winning. And that's when you can get your star player like that and not be mad about, oh, I didn't get my 10 catches, I didn't get my 150 yards and 2 touches. We can still sit there and say, hey, I got a cigar and I'm having fun. That's when you know you have the pulse of the team. So please, for the love of God, Mark Davis, give this man a call and say, you know what, welcome home. Welcome home, full-term coach. But I have to say, it's always nice seeing good old Patrick Mahomes walk off that field with Kelsey and Andy Reid walk off with their heads down in disappointment. Felt real good. Felt real good. Real good. And as far as Aiden O'Connell, I'll say this about him because everybody's like off the bandwagon because before they were calling Tom Brady in the preseason. You know, he's supposed to be the second coming. And I feel like there are a lot of good things with Aiden O'Connell and there are a lot of things he has to work on. Me specifically, I think he's going to have to work on his mobility. Now, I'm not saying he has to be like Lamar Jackson or Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen, like those guys, but he is going to have to learn how to navigate the pocket a lot better, and that's kind of mobility I think he needs to have, like Joe Burrow. He's not the most elusive dude, but he's able to actually like navigate the pocket to where he can buy time for his receivers, especially when his line is at the optimum level. And I think that's what Aiden O'Connell needs to work on doing in the off season. But for right now, I think he's playing within himself and he's playing the right way. That's how I feel about the situation. Now, if it comes to a way, it comes into our our lap where we can get a good rookie quarterback, or we can get a free agent quarterback that we didn't think we can get, I'm not going to be adverse to it, but I'm not at the same time willing to just throw Aiden O'Connell, to the street and say, you're trash. I think it takes time for people to develop, and different rookie quarterbacks develop at different paces. So I'm not off the bandwagon for Aiden O'Connell. I still think he has talent. I still think he has moxie to where he can actually just keep evolving. When he says, the team put me on their back in his press conference, say, hey, I followed them. That's a mark of a good quarterback. Say, hey, I didn't try to do too much. Because sometimes you're going to have games where you just don't have it, and you have to depend on your team. So you have to play within the offense and in the flow of the game. And that's what I like about Aiden O'Connell. He doesn't try to do too much, when things are not going his way. And I think that's something you can build upon. All we need to do is work on a little bit more mechanics and working on his lateral movement within the pocket. But other than that, I think it's a great team win. I think this is a win that can really propel us, moving forward for our last two games. So, Christmas was great. To quote good old Trayvon Merrick, the Grinch stole Christmas. And we're happy about it, We're happy about it. So I hope you had some good stuffing, good old Patrick Mahomes and Kelsey and Holmgren, because not Holmgren, Andy Reid. Sorry, Andy Reid. I'm thinking about Mike Holmgren, but Andy Reid. Sorry, you and Andy Reid. But man, to win a game like that on national television, it felt good, and I'm hoping Mark Davis makes the right call. And I got to give credit to Zamir White, because he kept with it. He was methodical. And this shows you, if you keep with the run and you don't abandon it, the floodgates can just burst wide open at the end of the game. And that's what happened to him, and we were able to close out the game. So, great team win. It wasn't pretty on offense, but that's how you have a great mark of a team, when you can win in different ways as opposed to just winning on offense. And that's why I think this year, like I said in the beginning of the video, is very different from years prior, especially with Rich Bisaccia, because the offense really carried that team, and the defense wasn't really able to show up when the offense didn't show up. Conversely, this year, the offense hadn't showed up a lot of games, but the defense was always there, so we always had a chance to win the game. So, moving forward, if you can have a coach who can keep your team playing well throughout the game when things aren't going your way, and playing disciplined, because mind you, one thing with Patrick Mahomes, like he's so nimble that where it's easy for a defensive lineman to get out of their rush lanes. But we were disciplined the whole game, and I don't know if you noticed this in the during the Christmas game against the Chiefs, but the defense was actually communicating. They were passing their receivers off to their proper appropriate assignments. There was no miscommunications for the most part. And the one thing I've really noticed under Coach Antonio Pierce, is that we don't have the stupid penalties anymore. We don't have the stupid offside penalties. Do y'all remember Tommy Kelly during those years when we would have a game so close and all of a sudden we have a stupid offsides penalty? Y'all remember that on defense? Y'all remember that? I do. We haven't had those silly penalties that just rob us of momentum or a game. So for me, if Coach Pearson keep us that disciplined on defense, when the offense is not really having its best day, and we're going against a heated rival where at any moment they can strike and they can put up points in a hurry, you got to give this man a call and say, hey, why don't you come back next year full time? That's what I'm hoping. That's what I'm hoping the advisors in Mark Davis's ears are saying to him. Give this man a call, and let's see what he can do. Because hell, if Josh McDaniel can get a call after several coaching debacles, well, then why can't good old Coach Antonio Pierce? But that's just me. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think this is an outlier and the Chiefs are just reeling? Or is it that we actually took the victory from the Chiefs and the Chiefs just got beat? You let me know what you think. And do you let me know if you think good old Coach Pierce deserves a legitimate shot, or is it just a situation of happenstance victories. Let me know. Me personally, Super Bowl. We out here.